Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I have a very fun crochet inspiration video for you guys for spring and summer. It's finally warm enough to where I can start working on these projects and I can finally sit back in my outside setup. I've been filming in my room for quite a bit now and it's just been kind of depressing and sad, and I'm so ready for the warm weather. It's finally warming up where I am here in California, and hopefully it's warming up where you guys are too. Or on the flip side, it's the end of your summer and you're now going into your fall and winter. Either way, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite spring and summer crochet and also knit inspiration projects. I found a lot, and as always I will have all of the projects linked down below and you can find the artists as well. And then also you can find them over on my Pinterest, and I will also have my Instagram linked down below for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Turn on your notifications so that way you guys will see my next videos as well, and my next inspiration videos. And as always, let me know what your guys' favorites are and all that stuff. And I will see you guys after this video wraps up. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this inspiration board on my Pinterest is called Summer Crochet 2025. I'm gonna go ahead and start with dresses first, because dresses, I love dresses. I need to get better at making them because they are definitely a time-consuming project, but I think they're beautiful, especially when they are crocheted in it. There's some really cool different, I really love bright colors this summer as well, for spring and for summer. I think bright colors are the way to go, and I think they're going to be trendy again this year, and I think they're only getting trendier. Another common theme that I've been seeing is sequins on literally everything. Different size sequins, shells, anything sparkly and glittery has been super trendy, and I think that's going to continue through the rest of the year. As far as dresses go, you can make them mini or maxi. I do recommend using a lighter weight fiber or knitting one, because knit pieces as far as wearables tend to be a lot thinner, and in the summer and spring months obviously it's going to be hotter and you're going to be not going to be wanting to wear thick heavy materials. Anything lightweight is the best way to go. But as far as projects go, some of my favorites include this really cute long sleeve dress, but it's a mini dress. I think it's adorable. It looks really lightweight, which is very practical. You can also use a chunkier stitch, so it's a lightweight fabric, but it's also kind of like meshy. I like that effect. Not only for a dress as like a layering piece, but also as like a swimsuit cover up. I think it would be really cute. Another really cute idea that I've been seeing as well is just mini dresses that are strapless, bright and colorful. You can do color blocking as well. There's an artist over on Instagram, I think her name's Loopy777 or something, but she makes a ton of really cool knitwear pieces, and all of her projects I feel like are scream spring and summer. I also love the idea when it comes to dresses playing with different shapes and different sizes of stitches. So even in knitting, like doing like a looser purl stitch mixed with like a looser gauge turns out so cool, and I love that like almost imperfected look. And I also love the meshy like appearance that it has. I think it just is very much so more spring and summer than say like something that doesn't have the same looseness and flowiness to it. I also love the use of sequin yarn. I know I was just talking about this, but I've seen them in so many dresses and stuff. And a big way that I have been experimenting with sparkly yarn is using it with an acrylic or cotton yarn as well, and double stranding. So a strand of like the really thin sparkle glittery sequin yarn mixed with like a cotton yarn and double stranding it, and then crocheting or knitting as you normally would is the best way that I found to use that type of yarn, because it is, I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks incredible, but it is harder to use. It just doesn't have that easy flow, and you can't really get the same momentum with it, and it definitely takes a lot longer. But again, it's so worth it because it looks so incredible once you're finished with it. Another design that I love is making like, I don't know, like themed print dresses or anything really. So like ocean design, you can put little sea animals on there. I've seen some with like different flowers. I think it's really cool to have a theme. Something else that I'm really excited about that I think is going to be a huge trend this year is sets. So matching sets, we saw those throughout winter, we saw those throughout fall, and they're definitely going to stick around for at least the rest of the year. But there's so many cute ones where you can make them matching or even like mismatched color block, which is really cute. You can add flower decals, you can add sequins to it, you can add seashells, you can drape the fabrics different ways. But I love the appearance of sets. They're so fun. And when you think about it too, is like, yes, you can wear them as a set, but you can also use them in different ways. So you can add a like one of your crochet tops to a pair of jeans or a little flowy skirt or a different bottom. Same thing with the bottom, you can add a different top to it. So it's very, I feel like it's one of the more practical things to make because you can get so many wears out of it. That's one of my favorite parts about sets, is that they're so functional in so many different aspects. But I love, there's these really cute ones. I follow a creator called Gal Pal Knits. I'm friends with her over on Instagram. She has a really cute ruffled skirt pattern, which I think is absolutely adorable, as well as shorts. And ruffles are a huge trend. They're just so girly, and I think there's something so feminine and cute about them. You can make them any length, but I think it adds so much. And a lot of them are just one plain color, so one like plain color of cotton yarn. There's something about the ruffles that adds so much to it, and I've seen these a couple times out in like real life, people wearing them, and they're just as adorable in the pictures as they are in real life. I absolutely adore those, and I think ruffles are a huge thing. If you're into really girly designs, definitely try out doing ruffles. I think they're absolutely adorable. I also love the idea of using appliques to your design, so making like a plain crochet top and then adding like flower decals to it. Adorable. Again, a great way to spice up any design as well. I also know I made a similar video last year talking about summer trends and like crochet and knit and that world. And I know every single year I talk about fruit stuff, but I really do think that fruit is one of those things that's just continuously adorable, especially when it comes to fashion. Adding like different fruits, so cherries, peaches, kiwis, lemons, like anything you can think of. Fruits are always just so cute and adorable, and they're fairly simple to create when it comes to crocheting, whether it be appliques or worked into a design. I've done it multiple times, and it obviously takes more time, but it's not necessarily complicated. It's just a more time-consuming process. But I do think it adds so much, and it's just so cute. Like, I don't have another word to explain that. It's just cute, and it's adorable, and it just, I love fruit. I love eating fruit, and I love seeing fruit on wearables. Any form of fruit, I love it. I think it's so fun. Like, it's one of those things that I will never get tired of seeing, and that's why I mention it year after year. I've also seen quite a few sets that almost look very fairy-esque. So just like the format of itself, there's something very feminine about the way they're draped on the people's bodies. And I absolutely love that. Like, these creators know their bodies so well. And I think once you have an item of clothing, whether it be crocheted or knit or not, and you know how it fits and you know you like the silhouette of it, if you replicate that into a wearable piece, crocheted and knit, I think there's no way you can really go wrong, and it looks so good. It just fits your body correctly, and it just complements it so well. And you're essentially just styling your own body, which I think is what fashion is all about and what you should be doing. And whatever you want that to look like, you can achieve that with making your own clothing, which I think is so interesting and also so cool. And it's something that I like really didn't understand until I started making my own wearable pieces. But I absolutely love those designs and that idea. So it's something that I really recommend testing and kind of experimenting with. There's so many, especially with the tops and bottoms, and little like sets where they just drape so perfectly, and all the silhouettes are so different. But I absolutely adore that. And a lot of the ones I have saved are, again, bright colors, lots of sequins, because I think it's just fun and it adds so much to it. And even if you're not into sequins, or it's not something that you feel like experimenting with, you can do that in any form that you want. So you can do that with a plain cotton yarn, you could do an acrylic, you could do a mohair. Like, I don't think mohair would be best for winter, not winter, but like it wouldn't be best for summer or spring, but you could if you really wanted to. Another thing that I've also seen people do is using shells in their designs. This is something that I haven't really tried. I've done beading a little bit, just around with it, but I'm seeing people attach shells to their pieces, especially like bikinis or even little two-piece sets. I think it's adorable. I'm not quite sure how to achieve it, again, because I haven't experimented with it myself, but it's definitely something that this year I really want to try out, because I think it looks really, really cool and unique, and it's so one of a kind. When you see that, you're like, okay, that's not something I could just find out and about in a Target somewhere, which I think is also so special when you're using wearable pieces. Unfortunately, fast fashion is, you know, aware of those trends, so it's trying to achieve them themselves. But I think it's really special when you see something that you could never see recreated, like by a machine or by someone else in the fast fashion world, where it's truly one of a kind and unique. So I absolutely love the use of shells for that, and you could collect them yourself. So you can find them on the internet probably. You can probably find them on Amazon if you really wanted to, and I think you should be supporting Amazon, but if you really wanted to, you could find them. Another thing that I really love, and I saw this trend and I've made a couple, and I even made a pattern for a crochet poncho, but I've seen so many cool ones recently with added sequins and just different fibers and materials. And I've seen a lot with like threaded yarn, which is just super thin yarn, and they look so cool and they're so meshy, and I love the stylistic choices that people are using. And it's something that you could use as a bikini throw over, you could use it over a top, you could use it as a top. There's so many cool ones out there. I believe the creator's name is Claudia Slowinski. She didn't make it herself, but there's a really cute one that she's wearing in a photo that I really love, and I want to try and find a way to recreate with the sequins that she has where they're just super oversized and chunky. I've also seen some with like some really cool drapey fringe added to the bottom, which I think adds a lot. I've also seen the use of fringe in even shorts and like pants and any other like tops where like you make the bikini top, but then there's fringe coming out from the bottom. I think that looks really cool, and it just adds so much. And I have used fringe before, and it's surprisingly, it uses a lot of yarn. However, the process of making the fringe yourself is fairly simple. For those of you who consider yourselves more advanced crocheters or knitters, I highly recommend using complicated designs. So a very simple colorway, but just kind of a complicated like lacy type design where it almost looks like a doily, but you're using it as a top or as a dress. I think that's sick. I don't think I personally could ever do it. Like, I know I could, but I know I also wouldn't because it is so time consuming. But I know that those pieces are absolutely stunning, and it's something that I very rarely see, but they look really cool and they're just so impressive. You're literally wearing, anytime you wear a piece of crochet or knit into the real world, you're wearing a piece of art. There's something really cool about seeing the lacy designs that's somehow even cooler and just so fascinating to me as someone who hasn't done it themselves. Over the last month or two, I've also noticed a huge rise in crocheting your own belts or like little skirts, which I think is so fun. I never thought of the idea of crocheting a belt until I started seeing this trend come about, and I really love how it adds to so many things. You can add a crochet belt to a dress, you can add it to a skirt, you can add it to shorts. And I love the idea of making them in the same colorway as another piece. So say you have a crocheted skirt in the color blue, like making it in the same colorway, it kind of ties it together and just elevates it, and it looks so put together. Alright, that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Again, feel free to subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and make sure you like this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know if you want a part 3. This is part 2 of this video, so let me know if you want a part 3. I absolutely love making these. They're so much fun, and again, I feel like it's like I can finally talk about spring and summer trends because the weather's finally warm and maybe we'll finally sit and film in my backyard. Let me know if you guys want another video continuing this trend, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.